Good evening, and welcome back to the Raleigh Link News Network. It's certainly been a crazy week, so let's go ahead and let's get into our recap. Starting with our top story tonight, and that being Pink Pony Peptides has officially reached threat level severe.
Is what you're getting from your doctor's office so much safer than what you get at Pink Pony? Every single Pink Pony product comes in from straight from the manufacturer to me. If it does not pass my criteria, it does not get listed.
Susan even wants you to know that if your child ends up purchasing research chemicals not for human or veterinary use on her website, that it's not because she's selling these drugs illegally, it's because you're a bad parent.
It's age-gated. Be a better parent and be a better creator. Summer seems really pressed that my website for Pink Pony isn't age-gated. It is age-gated, but once you click through it once, you no longer have to check the box. So I guess the only real option here, Summer, is to be a better parent.
Even more concerning, Susan and Mindset Equestrian are seen here on the World Equestrian Center grounds, promoting untested, unregulated, and non-FDA approved research chemicals.
I have been microdosing the Retatrutide. Is that what you call it? Retatrutide. Retatrutide.
Most of us.
Products that are so sketchy, the public shouldn't even be able to buy them in a horse show parking lot. But don't fear, everyone, because Susan's here to let you know that these research chemicals really are not synthetically modified compounds at all, like what scientists and researchers and medical professionals call them. They're just amino acids. And here's hoping that nobody in the general public is actually dumb enough to believe that. And in an even more crazy turn of events, Susan has gone from pretending to be an equine activist to being an equine villain. Seen here, promoting all of her untested and non-FDA approved research chemicals now for use on your horses.
Someone reached out to me last week asking me if I could get it in a bigger size because they want to try it on their horse. And one of my manufacturers has just started offering it in a larger size. So I've ordered it in the larger size. I'll let you know when we get it in, and then we're gonna do like a little bit of a case study. And she's got an older horse with a bit of inflammation.
Classifying Pink Pony Peptides now as a true animal welfare concern. But if Susan's behavior wasn't already alarming enough, we have new reports of her beginning to let her insecurities shine.
Now, what I do know is that at 28, I looked like this. And at 40, I look a little different. And in the case of my haters, they're busy being stressed about me. Now what I know is in this photo, I look way better than they do at their age. That was me at 28. So my favorite part of this whole journey is knowing that they're gonna age the way they deserve. My new Roman Empire is knowing that Ronald McDonald has been kicked out of 6 barns in the last 2 years.
I really wouldn't be talking about how other people look when you look like a lot lizard from the VeggieTales universe. And in the latest development that we went over in our last News Network episode, Susan is shown here shipping out her first international order. And when we sat down to consider who in their right mind would be crazy enough to buy research chemicals from Susan, only one name came to mind. Let's hope it's not Becca from Moonridge Acres. If that's the case, Becca has much more to worry about than her sickly horses. And speaking of Becca from Moonridge Acres, sources indicate Crystal, her miniature foal, is looking bigger than ever in the face, with her legs now being wrapped in vet wrap. Many veterinarians wondering what that vet wrap is doing, nobody knows. Crystal is seen here, out with a bunch of other horses. Now, why this foal is turned out in a poop-filled paddock with other adult miniature horses while looking as sickly as ever is still unclear to investigators. And speaking of sickly horses, let's get into Socks the Stallion. Socks was recently spotted here, showing signs of pain allegedly linked to poor saddle fit. But don't worry, because his quality of life is assured to us by Tanya that after all of his social isolation, untreated discomfort, and allowing this horse to develop severe cribbing habits are, according to Tanya, widely known indicators of peak animal wellness. And speaking of sketchy living situations for horses, let's move over to Happy Heart Home Sanctuary. The sanctuary featured deconstructed and demolished in my last video. And in response to my video exposing this sanctuary for operating on the edge of neglecting her animals, Lauren, the Happy Heart Home Sanctuary owner, claimed that every single GoFundMe, social media page, and YouTube channel I featured in my video wasn't her, it was actually just people scamming and ripping off her content. Even though, as shown here on her personal Instagram account, she's bumming for money and claiming she can't afford her animals in almost every single post. I want to encourage every single viewer of the Raleigh Link News Network to do their duties and go to the links in the description down below and report every single one of these GoFundMes and YouTube channels and other social medias for fraud. On her IRS forms, she claims that she works 90+ hours a week and has for the last 2 years. How someone has that kind of time in their day is going to forever remain a mystery. And finishing off with the main question of the day, how does someone raise more than $500,000 in one single year but have no money left over to feed her horses? And lastly, we've got to end on this week's honorable video mention. What we are now going to be calling the world's worst lesson instructor that I've ever seen in my entire life. While critics claim that this is a human and animal welfare concern, the riding instructor wants to assure everyone she didn't abuse this horse by throwing a heavy object at it or endanger her student. She was simply trying to keep the student from going over the wrong jump.
What?
So that's it for this week's news. Be sure to join us next Saturday for another Raleigh Link News Network recap.